we're all living in a story. And it's not that the story is bad or wrong, but it's the filter through which we see the world. And when people heard this, when they first heard of what they call Vedanta or Advaita or whatever, and stop the story, well, that stop the story itself is this kind of story. And so we're all babbling internally inside a story that we don't even see because it's the texture of reality. It's what we just overlook, like the fish overlooks the water. So we're immersed in a water of story. And it's possible to wake up and be free. When we stop telling ourselves our personal story, that includes our opinions, our likes and dislikes, our judgments, our guilts, our blames, all the stuff that makes up the internal dialogue. It's part of the larger bubble of trance that we can wake up from. So to wake up from a bubble of story is to become disillusioned with it. Because if you really believe it's real, whether you believe Jesus is real or you believe, Muhammad is real or whatever it is that you believe in, any religion, any cult, anything at all, when you see through it, you become disillusioned. And this disillusionment is painful. Something that you've loved, the church. You love the church, you love going, you love the community, you love Jesus, you love... And then something pierces, and you see through it. And there's a great pain of loss, because you've been disillusioned. So consider, illusion brings pleasure. Disillusion brings pain. So nobody wants pain, so people would rather continue the illusion and just patch it up, repair it, put new wallpaper up. So the possibility is to see through it all. But for that you have to want the truth more than you want the illusion. And for that you have to bear the pain of disillusionment. Because the pain of disillusionment pierces your heart and opens the possibility of meeting the despair that you thought you were saved from by the illusion. Because as long as the illusion is providing perks, it feels good, you've got the community, you've got the pleasures, the bliss of worship, whatever it is that brings the group together in bliss or in pleasure, there's the loss of that, the despair that is hiding under that is then revealed. And that's the way in. That's where surrender happens. That's where the possibility is to turn your back on the illusion, all of it. Because once you're disillusioned, you're also alienated. You're now separate in a way. Where before, you were part of the homogeneous mass of whatever it is you were living in the illusion of. From the level of the church or believing in the capitalist version of reality or the Soviet version of reality. So many people were disillusioned with the Soviets. So many people naturally get disillusioned with capitalism, with all the different forms. And when you become disillusioned, there's a pain of loss. And sometimes that pain turns to bitterness and anger and resentment, and you go to war with it. That way it just causes more pain. That's the way of pain, conflict. So it's not about going along with it, and it's not about bowing to it. It's staying true to yourself in the face of everything. That's what we're here for. People think waking up means suddenly, you see the light and you see the angels and you're in heaven and everything, you can do whatever you want and it's all okay. It's much better than that. It's much deeper. It's the capacity to actually be a human. A living, breathing human that is not here for the animal drives, but is here for something transcendental. So, It's possible for everyone to wake up and be free. That's why we're here. And if you're here on this and you hear this, something has already called you that is awake and free. And your function is to surrender to it, to surrender to your own self. And the great trap is you surrender to something outside yourself. This is the cult. This is the religion. You surrender to Jesus. You surrender to the Buddha. You surrender to the Guru, God, whatever it is. It's not that. It's much more profound. You have full responsibility. See, that kind of surrender to something outside yourself, there's no responsibility. But to surrender to the truth of yourself is to take full responsibility. And that's the possibility of actually the next step of human evolution.